Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to do a comparison on Colourette Velvetints and Colourtints. So if you want to see that, then just keep on watching. So for today's video, I'm going to put makeup on. This side will be the Colourtint side and this side will be the Velvetint side. So first is I'm going to use Jordan. I'm just going to dot it wherever I usually bronze. I'm going to take a stippling brush to blend it in. So there is Jordan. I'm also going to use Jordan for my eyelids as an eyeshadow, and I'm just going to blend that with my finger. And I'm going to take what's left on my finger and just kind of run it through the lower lash line. Next is I'm going to take Emma and use it as a blush on. That's a lot. And just going to blend it out. So there is Emma. Now we are going to move on to this side. So I'm using After Party as a bronzer. And blend it. After Party is definitely warmer than Jordan. It's actually nice for blush, but we are using it as a bronzer. I'm also going to use this for the eyeshadow and just blend it. I think that's a little bit much. And same thing here. So there. And for blush, I'm using Rosé. And just also blend it in. So we're going to do half-half. I'm going to use color tint on the lower part of my lip and velvet tint on the upper part of my lip. So let's do it. So I'm using Tara for the color tint. For the upper lip, I'm using RSVP. So there. This is the color tint side. And this is the velvet tint side. This is the color tint. And this is the velvet tint. There, we are done with the makeup. Now I'm going to tell you my observation while I was putting on the color tint and the velvet tint and tell you what difference I noticed in terms of these two formulas. So first, let's focus on the color tint. So from the word itself, color tint, for me, that is the perfect description of what it can do to your skin. Like, it just really tints your skin, and what I mean by that is just it gives it color without any kind of coverage or primer, because color tints are suspended in oil. There's really not much hold to it. Very watery when you put it on. Like, the consistency is very watery, and so when you spread it on your skin, it easily dispersed, and so that can be a good thing or a bad thing. It can be a good thing because you can easily spread the color, and it could be a bad thing because, you know, if you're not quick, it can set on your face and create a demarcation of where you put the pigment directly on your skin. And also for me, you know watercolor. When you use watercolor, it's definitely harder to manipulate the color because you need to kind of build the intensity of that, because it's very lightweight, it's very thin. The formula is very, very thin, and so when the formula is thin, you need to kind of build the color even if, you know, the pigment is there. Since the formula is, you know, thin, it doesn't have much of a strong hold on the face, but when it sets, it really sets, like it's there. This side, it really just looks natural, and if I really look at it closely in front of the mirror, like it really doesn't look like makeup at all. Like it's really that thin of a consistency that there's no weird texture, it's just the color. So on the Velvetin side, I could definitely say that if I look closely, I could tell that, you know, it's makeup, because the consistency of the Velvetin is suspended in a mousse kind of formula. When it lays on the skin, the mousse formula kind of acts like a primer, and it kind of just smooths over the skin, whereas this kind of sinks into the skin. Does that make sense? But yeah, for the blendability, the Velvetin is definitely easier to blend because of the mousse formula. When I use Velvetin, for me it's very easy to blend even with just my finger. Like it's a no-brainer for me, whereas the Colourtint, I get sometimes really anxious because I always worry that it's gonna set fast if I don't move fast. So for the lips, they're both transfer proof, and they're both really light on the lips. I would say that the Colourtint is definitely lighter than the Velvetin, but we're talking about such a slight difference that for me it doesn't really matter. Both of the formula for the lips I really like. I think I like the Velvetin better, slightly better, because of the mousse formula. It kind of smooths over my lips, whereas the Colourtint, you know, if you have a dry lips, it can sometimes emphasize the cracking or like the lines on your lips. But you know, if your lips are well hydrated, I don't think that's going to be a problem. For me, I like the formula of the Velvetin better than the Colourtint, but I like how the Colourtint looks on the skin better than the Velvetin. Like on this side, it doesn't look like I have makeup. Like it just looks like I have a natural tan on the side of my face and just like naturally blushing. Whereas this, you can definitely tell that I put on blush and bronzer to give it that look. Same thing on the eyes, like this one looks more natural than this one. So that is my opinion on the Colourtints and Velvetins. Like the formula of Colourtint and Velvetin, they're both really good. It's just a matter of preference. But I think if you're a beginner, I really think that you'd have an easier time blending the Velvetin than the Colourtint, because even for me, when I use Colourtint, sometimes I worry that it might look patchy if I don't use the right brush, or if I am not quick enough to blend it on my face or on my lips. So yeah, that ends my video. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you find it helpful, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.